Oh hey, this is Trav. Today I'm going to teach you how to remove the ivories from an elk. Oftentimes ivories are called buglers or whistlers as well. And what they are is actual ivory teeth found in elk on the upper jaw. There's one on either side, about right in here, halfway back from the front of the muzzle toward the molars. There's an ivory tooth on either side, and today we're going to get those out of the elk with nothing more than just simply a dowel, or in this case, a hammer handle. Elk are grazers just like cows and other grass eaters. They have no upper teeth. They do have lower incisors, and until you get back to the molars, there's no teeth with the exception of these buglers. There they are right there. I'm going to open this jaw, and you can see there's a bugler or an ivory or a whistler on either side of the upper jaw, again about midway back from the muzzle to the molars, which start right here. Rigor mortis may have set in, and if that's the case, it may be a little more difficult to open the jaw, but even with the jaw shut, you can still get to the buglers. You can still see the ivories right there. And the best trick I've ever seen, better than cutting them or pulling them free, is to simply take a stick, put it right there on the ivory, and I'm just going to strike the stick with my hand, and it'll drive that tooth off straight back into the mouth. Put it right on that bugler and strike it. Okay, loosen it up here. Let's drive it out of there. Driving it straight to the back of the mouth. Just like that. It knocked it out, and there it is. You can see that ivory is laying right there on the tongue. Get my hand out of the way. I'm going to reach in here and just lift that out. People will take these and put them into silver or gold and make a nice setting for a ring or a necklace, or maybe even a pendant. I've seen these used in all kinds of different jewelry and art. In fact, Native Americans would use these as well. You'd see them in their clothing and in their apparel. Now we're going to remove the ivory from the right side of the bowl. You can see it's set right here. Easy to get to. And in big mature bowls, they're enormous. They can be the size of a quarter or bigger. And in this one, you can see it's about the size of a nickel when it comes out of there. So I'm going to set this dowel, this piece of wood, right here on the tooth, and with nothing more than my hand, I'm going to strike this dowel straight down towards the rear of the mouth of this elk. Here we go. Okay. Do that a couple times. Look at that, it's completely loose. I think one more ought to do it. I'm gonna just grab that tooth and pull it out of there, right into my hand. These two ivories out of this young bull, this elk's probably about 1.5 years, about the size of a nickel or a quarter. They get bigger in the big mature bulls, but in cow elk they're even smaller, a little more delicate. But you can see the size there, not bad at all. Just a word of caution on these animals. This one has ticks all over it. I pulled one off of it here just so you can see. There's a wood tick. In the east they get deer ticks, but I've had plenty of these in me over the years. It's not much fun. So I'd recommend, after working around any wild animal, that you go home and check yourself for ticks. You don't want these things to bury into you and get full of blood. There's all kinds of tick-borne diseases out there. It's not fun at all. These will clean up real nicely. Just go wash them in hot water, clean off the flesh. And as far as I know, elk are the only members of the deer family that have ivories. It's kind of a bonus if you're an elk hunter. In addition to all that wonderful meat you get to eat, to be able to remove a couple of ivories and perhaps make something as a keepsake.